Students, next some important terms which are related to solids. First one is space lattice. Crystal lattice, space lattice. So space lattice is regular arrangement of the constant particles present in solids in a three-dimensional space. So that is called space lattice. Regular arrangement of constituent particles. So particles present in solid or present in crystal, they may be atoms, ions or molecules. Okay, so regular arrangement of constant particles in a three-dimensional space of crystal is called space lattice. Okay, so constituent particles which are present in crystal lattice or space lattice, they are also called as motif or basis. So these particles, constituent particles in space lattice are called motif or basis. Okay. Next term is unit cell. What is space lattice? So space lattice, that is a crystal lattice where all the constant particles are arranged in three-dimensional manner. Okay. So unit cell is smallest portion of the crystal lattice which represents total pattern of the lattice. So smallest repeating unit present in the crystal lattice, and it represents the whole pattern of the space lattice. Okay, so smallest portion in crystal lattice or space lattice which represents total pattern of the lattice. So this is called unit cell. For example, this is crystal lattice, space lattice. Okay. So smallest portion of it, this unit, smallest unit. So this is called unit cell, and unit cell shape is just like space lattice shape. So this portion represents the total pattern of the space lattice. Okay, so smallest portion in crystal lattice which represents the total pattern. So that is called as unit cell. Okay, and unit cell that is characterized by 6 parameters. So 3 are axial distances and another 3 are axial angles. Okay, so each and every unit cell that is characterized by 6 parameters. So unit cell is characterized by 6 parameters. So 3 axial distances and 3 are axial angles. Okay, axial distances and axial angles. So for example, This is a unit cell. So unit cell. Okay. So this is the smallest portion which is present in the space lattice. If we take this point, okay. So first coming to axial distances. So from this point, axial distance from this point, this corner point to this corner point is A. Okay. And from here, this is B. And this is C. Okay. So A, B, C. These are axial distances. Okay. So three axial distances are A, B and C. Okay. Then coming to axial angles. Angle between C and B. This is alpha. Okay. And angle between A and C. This is beta. And angle between A and B. This is gamma. Okay. So alpha, beta, gamma. So all these are axial angles. So axial angles are alpha, beta and gamma. Okay. So this is the structure of a unit cell. So this unit cell contains 6 parameters. 3 are axial distances. Here axial distances are A, B and C. And 3 are axial angles. Axial angles are alpha, beta and gamma. Okay. So all these are the 6 parameters. Then unit cells, they are generally divided into 2 types. Primitive unit cells, non-primitive unit cells. Primitive unit cells, non-primitive unit cells. Non-primitive unit cells are also called as centered unit cells. Okay. So unit cells divided into two types. Number 1, primitive unit cell. So primitive unit cells contains points, lattice points or particles only at the corners. Okay. So primitive unit cell is the unit cell which contains particles or points at the corners only. Okay. So unit cell having lattice points at the corner. So they are primitive unit cells. Okay. And non-primitive unit cells. Non-primitive unit cells. So non-primitive unit cells are also called as centered unit cells. Centered unit cells. So non-primitive unit cells or centered unit cells are unit cells which contains corner points and also lattice points at the centers. So unit cells having corner points and points at the center. At the center. Okay. So these are non-primitive unit cells. So non-primitive unit cells, they are again in 3 types. Body centered unit cell, face centered unit cell, end centered unit cell. So body centered unit cell, face centered unit cell, end centered unit cell. Okay. So these are the 3 non-primitive unit cells. Body centered, face centered and end centered unit cell.